Dorney Park is looking to get a new coaster for 2021. Well,
But they might not.
yeah, they might not because
But they might.
yeah, because as of right now, they actually
But they might
just
not.
they just kind of retorted that and said that they are withdrawing their application for this meeting that they were going to be doing next week to talk about this future attraction. However, we're going to kind of talk about this as if it's still going to happen because most likely what happened, it looked like all three parties that were going to be doing this meeting kind of withdrew, most likely because of the coronavirus crisis. They probably didn't feel it was a great time to be talking about this kind of stuff.
I think a lot of it had to do with the meeting since their Pennsylvania's under stay-at-home orders,
Mm-hmm.
and there's the 10-person max restrictions. The township meeting that was going to occur was actually going to happen on GoToMeeting, which
Mm-hmm.
basically would have allowed anybody on the internet to join this meeting. And I think that's what I mean. Obviously, Dorney doesn't want coaster enthusiasts to be able to hop into a township meeting
No,
and one, voice their opinion, or two, hear what's going on.
exactly.
So I think that's probably the precipitating factor was,
Mm-hmm.
they just didn't want this out there.
That's very likely. However, we're just going to act like this is still 2021 because we have no idea, and this still is very well could be a 2021 project. So I'm going to read exactly what they announced with this commission. It says an application to further develop the property located at 3830 Dorney Park Road. The plan proposes to remove an existing attraction, construct a new attraction, associate walkways and access drives, and relocate a portion of the existing Zypher train ride. The new attraction will be approximately 106 feet tall, and the project proposes a net reduction of impervious surface. The property is zoned CR Commercial Recreation. Dorney Park LLC is the owner and applicant. So they're getting a 106-foot tall attraction. Most likely, based on the plans that we've seen, it's going to be an RMC Raptor or a Gravity Group shuttle wooden coaster. Those are the two that people are kind of
I think
leaning
those are the
towards.
two logical.
Yeah, those are the two that people are leaning towards.
And I guess technically it could even just be a Gravity Group coaster, not even necessarily a shuttle.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
if it's Gravity Group, though, I really, really hope it's a shuttle.
Yeah, I would as well.
This all started out really the immediate traction was everybody was really thinking this is a Raptor. And I got on board hardcore with that because it fit so well. Everything fit, especially the 106-foot height. That is exactly Railblazer's height.
Mm-hmm.
And if you looked at the loosely looked at the footprint of Railblazer and the proposed concrete on the plan, it really looked like it could fit really well. And I mean, Cedar Fair's been working with RMC.
Yep.
That's that adds to it. I was completely on board with this. There was no doubt in my mind this was a Raptor. And somebody brought up the fact of switchback, and I thought, what? How? That doesn't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
The more I started looking into it, though, as you can explain, there's some traction there as well.
Yeah, I mean, the documents actually show it looks like almost like a vertical spike. It almost like a portion of the pathway that the course of this ride's taking. If you look at the actual blueprints, it looks like there's almost like a little spike there on the actual plans. So it very well could be what we're looking at, a shuttle wooden coaster, very reminiscent, and very lines up very closely with Switchback and ZDTs, which is a shuttle Gravity Group wooden roller coaster. That's what a lot of people are thinking. However, I know that the big argument here is, and with Bob retorting this, is that Gravity Group didn't build ZDT's Switchback to that 106-foot height. I think it's what we said, 60-ish feet tall. So I mean,
Yeah.
It doesn't logically make sense. Like this isn't a replica of Switchback and ZDTs. However, I think what the argument is that it actually could, be just a taller version of that, and just have. But I don't know. It would be very strange.
And see, this is where it gets really, really complicated for me, because I got everything. Like, everybody started saying, well, the proposed path, it was all proposed concrete. It was a path. It wasn't footers. It was a path. And it looks like I started really listening to the arguments and all of that. Like, I was like, oh my God, this all makes sense, until we get to that 106-foot height? That is what I can't wrap my brain around, because Gravity Group doesn't build tall coasters like that in small footprints. It's very, very rare, if at all. Now, yes, they have built some coasters like Voyage and, others that are over 100 feet, but they're also 4,000 feet long. And the higher you go, the more momentum you have to kill.
Yeah, and
that's what I can't.
My retortion to that is that Mind Blower at Fun Spot is in a very small footprint, as we stated earlier. I know we still said that was about 2,000 feet long, but it's still relatively short, and it's 85 feet tall, I believe. So, I mean, it's close there. I mean, it's not fully out there, but it's pretty close.
It's still that. I mean, you're still talking 20 feet like that.
I don't know. It's really
that's a lot of momentum.
It is. But
a lot of momentum to kill.
Well, and then also we have to figure out what point is going to be that tall. If it is the actual drop of the ride, the actual lift hill, this vertical spike, if there is one, is that going to be the 106-foot height? I don't know. That also plays into the part of what this could be. Well,
yeah, but at ZDTs, at 64 foot is how tall it is. Period. Like it's not like. But this isn't. I mean, of course, we could get into the whole shuttle. Like, is it a hyper? Is that there's a whole rabbit trail there, but we're talking 64 feet. So actually, ZDTs really doesn't go up 64 feet, because it's not going to reach the top of that spike.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but there's a possibility that the actual drop on this ride won't be. It'll be like 80 or 90 feet tall, and then the vertical spike itself will be 106 feet tall. That's what I'm kind of saying in a sense, that could be a possibility, because I know Switchback's actual drop was like 50 or 40 feet, but like you said, the vertical spike is the tallest point. So it could be like Mind Blower, what I'm saying, and be, just like the actual drop itself is like 85, 80 feet, and then the actual vertical spike is 100 somewhat feet, and you don't actually obviously go up the whole spike. You only go like halfway up that spike at ZDTs when I rode. I mean, it was only going like halfway, maybe 3/4. It was definitely not clearing anywhere close to the very top. So I don't know. That's kind of what I'm leaning towards a little bit. But the Raptor, I mean, it all makes sense here. It all makes sense. There's definitely not a wrong answer, I don't think. I know, there is definitely some speculation on your side as if this is possible, but I don't know. I think it's very plausible that it could be, like what I'm saying.
Believe me, I'm not sitting here saying this isn't a Gravity Group. It's certainly possible. I mean, there are very, very credible arguments towards it being a Gravity Group. I just can't wrap my head around how that 106-foot mark mixes in with this. That is what is just I can't figure out how that works. Now, Gravity Group may have something really interesting. I mean, this could be this. Maybe this is a launched wooden coaster. I don't know what. There could be anything up their sleeves. It's really hard to say. Now, the launch thing's kind of interesting, and this just came to me just as I said that, because you'll note that the whole plan was demolishing an attraction.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look at the plan, there is only one attraction missing from that plan, and that is Possessed.
Yes, and that is sad to see, because that was a very good Intimate Impulse. However, what I've heard, and a lot of people are going, oh, it's just Cedar Fair, they're going to remove an Intimate Impulse, just because they think it's reached the end of its service life. But I've heard California's Great America is supposed to get an Intimate Impulse coaster, so a lot of people are thinking that maybe Possessed is just going to be relocated to California's Great America. That's a rumor that I've heard going around. I don't know if that's at all true or not, or if that's plausible or possible or whatnot. But I think that is a logical explanation for this. I mean, it lines up pretty well.
I'll tell you something. Like, this is a thought I had, and I love this thought, but I don't put a lot. I don't think this is what's happening. But I would love to see Wicked Twister go to Great America, and Possessed go to King's Dominion. And my reasoning for that is because Dorney hasn't been operating the holding brake. And my speculation is a big part of that. Now, there may be mechanical as well, but I think a big part of that is just the power requirements for it. King's Dominion definitely has the power available because Volcano is no longer there.
Exactly.
So I would love to see King's Dominion get possessed and start operating the holding break.
I think that would be fantastic. Yeah, that would be really awesome.
I would love it, but
I think that's a little bit of wishful thinking, just a tiny bit of wishful thinking there. But
yeah,
it's definitely
that's exactly what it is.
It's definitely not too outlandish to comprehend. But yes, Dorney Park's going to be getting a very exciting attraction for 2021. Most likely, again, they did withdraw from this meeting that they were supposed to have in the last week to next week to discuss their further plans. But again, that's most likely just because of the situation they're in and because they don't want to do it live and broadcasting it live to enthusiasts.
Yeah, it is always possible, too, that this may get delayed because, obviously coronavirus has impacted finances. So there's a very, very real possibility that there may be a financial issue or, anything is possible right now. I mean, we still don't even know if what is going to happen of this season.
Yeah, we can just call this future plans. We don't not 2021, but we're just saying 2021 relative to when, because this was released as a 2021 plan. However, obviously a lot of things are going to be pushed back now. We have no idea, what. I mean, some of the 2020 projects are going to be pushed back now. Some 2020 projects have already been canceled, so we don't know what's going on with Dorney. But whatever it is,
what we can say for sure is something is or was in the works.
Yeah, and it looked really interesting.
That is what we know.
And it looked really awesome.
Yeah.
All right, well, we'll see you guys all in the next video. Bye, everyone.